slide board is just a board that's been cut out with round corners that you wouldn't catch anything, and a material that is slippery so that when I sit on it, I will slide across and get in bed with somebody standing behind me. And basically, if that board goes here and somebody would stand behind me, not with this chair, I was in a manual chair, and grab the back of my pants, and I would push this way on the board until my butt was over there. Once my butt was over there, they would pick up my legs, and I would be in bed then.
So this one's called a sit-on sling, and it's pretty basic, not a real problem. Some of the other slings are a little bit harder to work with because a person that doesn't have their balance, they're called an open sling. And an open sling, the person can actually fall through. So this particular one is much safer for someone whose balance is a problem.
These kinds of lifts were made about 20 years ago, which, as you can see, is a lot easier on the person taking care of me. They don't pull or push or anything else. And then it just goes down and we're camera and the rail system that's in the ceiling, that this goes all the way into the bathroom and can be lowered on the toilet also.
We had to get what's called an alternating pressure mattress cover. And first of all, he has a special mattress from the VA that's specially made for him. And then, because of his skin breaking down, he has to have this particular mattress that's supposed to be doing alternating. I'm not sure what happened with my time to go. These will go down while these are up. One will be hard, one row will be hard, and the other row will be soft. And that's to keep his body in constant movement so that his skin doesn't break down. You might wonder, why did we have to tape all the wiring together? That's in order to keep it so that it doesn't fall off the bed in a way that he can't get a hold of it. By putting them together, they don't get all tangled up, because the control for the bed is also on a cord with a hand piece to it so that he can get it.
That's actually designed for a quadriplegic because it's got a hook where somebody can't just grab it. I think it was back in probably 35 years ago. Actually, a woman designed the kind of chair that I'm in now that looks more modern and fits into society. And the chair that they made is used also for pressure release. This one here will actually will actually go up and go down, so I can fit into any place. And what I found after getting this chair, that a lot of social events that I went to, it seemed like more people would come up and talk to me if I was more at their level than I was lower. Now, this is only one of the features on this chair, but we're going to go back to the pressure release thing. We have a headrest for the chair, but it's not on. Well, what they do now for the chair for headrest, for pressure release, His chair will tilt backwards. And if you got a headrest on there, it's almost like being in a lazy boy. So this also will take pressure off the butt. And actually, I've put this thing back and fell asleep in it quite a few times. If Kathy doesn't around to put me to bed, I just crank it back. So these are the kinds of things that have been developed in the last probably 35 or 40 years that has made it easy. People would not consider when they see somebody in a wheelchair, they just feel they can't move their legs. But this type of injury that I have without the finger dexterity, actually I've been blessed the places that I've been able to go and do, really is a challenge, because people don't understand, or they want to shake hands with you, or they want to drop change to you, or hand you a bag that you can't grab and ends up dropping on the floor. So it's a challenge. And it's something to really give some thought to, is how to go through your day without being able to use your hands. Nobody thinks of those kind of things. I never did think of it before I got hurt, and it takes a lot of thought or throwing in the towel to realize how to be able to do things that you want to do without your hands. And one of the things that somebody made was another quadriplegic, because naturally when I drop anything on the floor, I can't pick it up. When I was in the manual chair, I still couldn't pick it up even if I had the dexterity. I could touch the floor in the manual chair, but naturally I couldn't pick it up. So it was either wrapping masking tape around my hand and sticking to it, or picking it up that way. But a quadriplegic invented this thing 15 years ago. And without the finger dexterity, they custom made this to fit your forearm and your hand here. And as you can see, this closes up. This closes up and you can drop it on the floor. And basically, I've even picked up coins with this thing. So it stops Kathleen or anybody else that's around to make me more independent. One of the other things is I use a computer a lot, and I've tried the voice activated, but the voice activated wasn't really, what can I say? It wasn't really as good as it is now. So I still use a keyboard, and what I ended up doing is I found a corkscrew, a wooden corkscrew. This thing's about 20 years old. Yeah. This is just a wooden corkscrew, because this comes off, and so for opening wine bottles. So this is what I use on the keyboard, and I put rubber bands because it would slip between my hands. I can't use a plastic one, or I can't use a pencil, or because they're too thin. And for probably, I'd probably say for the first 30 years of my life, I had some motion in this thumb. And so I was able to hold a pen, secure a pen like this, and write like this, and able to write on paper. But since I've been using that so much and it hasn't developed, I lost that ability. And so I've been looking for fat pens and everything else, but still, I'm having Kathleen write checks out now because I haven't found anything that I can use. All of the cups that I have in the house have handles on them. Anything with my water jug all has handles on them. And the other thing which people really wouldn't consider is, I think it's kind of funny, but I can't keep things in my lap. Because of the paralysis, my legs will fall apart. So for a long time, I have to get a TV tray, a small TV tray that I carry around, keep on my lap, or a towel to keep things from falling through and stuff. Usually Kathleen opens all my bottles. That's about the only two things. I got a back scratcher that I use to, when Kathleen comes in or somebody pushes things out of my way. I use this back scratcher up here on the table. And then when I usually write, because I can't hold paper down, I had somebody who went to Colorado, was a gunsmith, and he found an old railroad, piece of old railroad. It was like 4 feet, and he cut it down for me and polished it. So when I go to write, I put that on top of the paper so the paper doesn't slide in any place. This door is 36. And even in the houses built today, there's still only 30 for an ambulatory person. So if any handicapped person moves into a house, they'll have to have these doors. Now, without my finger dexterity, I had handles put on the doors rather than back up all this stuff here. All this kid stuff, grandkid stuff. But I had handles rather than knobs because of this, my hands, so I can just, oh yeah, I will, get closer. Like that. And there's this other trick that happens. Stay there, John. Coming out is also, if you're here by yourself or there's nobody here, there's a piece of rope hanging from the door. So what I would do is just turn the chair around. Grab this, it's got a loop on it that I could stick my thumb in. Just slowly back out. Close the door. And you can see now that the whole kitchen area is open to move around, to do anything I want. I can raise the chair to get at the sink or to use anything at the sink. If I need anything to put on the counters, I can raise on the chair. These altercations were just done 3 years ago. When I had a manual, I didn't have this. And so when the house was originally built, we had the original kitchen in, and I was in a manual chair and I could still reach it because this was a little lower. And then they made that stand over here for me to be able to use when I want to do things. I guess you can see all the handles on the drawers are not knobs, and I can put my finger in here to open them. This ability to hold, but this thumb to hold something, I could put a fork in there like that and eat. And it was usually would hold because I could put that thumb up. But when I lost that, I had to move to a specially made wider handle that I could pick up things with without a problem.
It's even got bumps on it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that makes it down. And as you can see, all my cups have handles on them.
Yeah.
All those handles have been put on the doors on the inside also. And when I was in my first manual chair, it was only 30 inches wide. And the length, I don't exactly remember. But as I got older and I lost my muscle elasticity, they had to put me in the 32-inch wide chair, and they had to lengthen the chair, which did cause some problems because in the house, not so much going through the doorways, but going around down the hall. And because of that, we're going to take that one corner and round it out that's in the hall. You'll see when I go out that because the chair is longer, it is, I really gotta take it slow. And if you look at some of the walls that I hit, that's why this corner is gonna be taken down and cornered and it's gonna be rounded off. So there's any problems. Naturally, all the closets have these kind of sliding doors without a problem. The front door has a handle on it also. And as you see with the 36-inch, I can just get in here without a problem. One of the things that the ADA does require in a bathroom is that the wheelchair is be able to maneuver itself all the way around. When the house was first built, I had a shower, but it wasn't as wide and it wasn't built to ADA standards because that was back in '68. So they built that with stone. They came back and remodeled this 3 years ago, the ADD standards. And it's the same with the sink. They raised it higher because I could get this higher. And I could fit under there. All the pipes are wrapped so I can't burn myself on the pipes.
Everything has to be out so that he can reach it. But when they had the mirror hanging like a regular mirror, but when Ed would roll in, he couldn't see himself in the mirror. So they put it on a hinge that allows it to be angled just right so that he can actually use the mirror. All the furniture is way out to the walls. There's nothing like, you don't make these little areas for people to sit and have conversation. I mean, you can't put a small anything anywhere, a table or anything. I never would have understood, but the old microwaves, when you opened it, you could take the door and put it back a little bit. And so Ed would be able to push it back, put something in and take it out, and he could do that. So we had a small microwave down on the counter, but in about the last 4 years, they do not make microwaves that have a door that goes further than a right angle.
Because you can't put the chair sideways to get anything out because the door's in the way.
So that was another problem. And I didn't know, but when they remodeled our home, they put this side-by-side refrigerator in, and I thought that was great. It's a beautiful refrigerator, but Pop can't use it. There's no way he can use it. I'm not sure why still. I haven't figured that out, but show me what the problem is.
I can't get it. They're on single shelves. They're smaller shelves. And one of the problems. No, my fingers are.
Even if we got it open, there was still another problem with it, right? Even if you could open the door.
Yeah, see, I can't get the other Frigidaire open swing like the microwave. But if I was to try to get anything in there, I'd be hitting the door this way or the other way. And so the other refrigerator all opened up fully where I could reach it.
And I never would have thought of that.
And that's the other thing with over time, because of the injury, the way it was, my fingers atrophied. So they don't open up. But it's good because if I hook something, I can pull. But some of the quadriplegics, of their different types of injuries, their hands just flop around and their fingers are just open. But the advantage to me is I can get something like this if I hook it, like the doors and stuff, and pull at it, and the fingers won't open up because they're all atrophied.